What's up, guys? Welcome to Titan Talk Tuesday with me, John, CEO and founder of Titan Medical Center. I'm here for you guys. I got a great show planned out for you guys. We're going to do some questions, some Q&A. So if you guys got any questions about what Titan Medical Center does, any of our therapies, or anything you're trying to achieve, let's talk about it. Let's go over it right now live. Big shout out to everybody that's joined me in, everybody on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, YouTube, wherever you guys are at, LinkedIn. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys joining me. Mish Mika, what's going on? Short and sweet, what's up? Big Z Fitness, what's going on? Pico Nomad, what's going on? Angel, what's going on? How you guys doing? And I know I'm going a little bit earlier than the 6 o'clock. I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go live. I got to get things done. I'm going away to Columbus this weekend, and we're actually leaving Thursday night. So we're going to be in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to be at Pro's Gym for the Arnold weekend. So at that point, Friday and Saturday, we will be at Pro's Gym. Me, Michael Hearn, Big Drew, Rodney, Andreas, Art's going to be there, Destiny, and My Day, and we'll be representing Titan Medical Center to full effect. We'll be there, talking to you guys, taking pictures, answering questions. Me and Mike are going to be doing some podcasts and stuff like that with some special guests there. So you guys got to tune in. If you guys aren't going to be there live, you guys got to tune in because we're going to have some great guests. So it's going to be awesome. And I'm here to answer all the questions. Hulk Squad in the house. Sean, how you doing? Tom, what's going on? PJ, what's going on? All right, so Damien 825 says, my level is 513 and 15. So I guess he's talking about his total testosterone and free testosterone. So 513. So is 513 low? That's the first question. And please, guys, get your questions in here so we can start answering them and everybody starts learning more and more about how they can optimize or help themselves. All right, so 513, is it low? Well, 264 to 916 are the levels of the reference ranges for LabCorp per se, right? So did you get your blood test done through LabCorp? That's my first question, because there are other labs like Quest out there, and Quest actually has different reference ranges. So your blood test might be a little bit different just by numbers than somebody else's blood test if it's on, Quest, or if it's on LabCorp or Access Labs or whatever it is. So at that point, let's talk about if it is on LabCorp, right? And if it's 513 on LabCorp, it's 264 to 916. So you're right in the middle range there, right? So it's not really good and it's not really bad, but are you experiencing any symptoms? That's the next question. And how old are you, Damien? Are you 30? Are you 40? Are you 25? Let me know that. But at that point, we really want to get that up. Now, if it's at 515 and, your free is okay at 15, it's not good, not bad. It's pretty much average. So at that point, you need to think about, do you have symptoms? Are you lacking energy? Or you're fatigued? Are you depressed? Or you're having ED issues, or you're not responding like your body should. I mean, some of these different things. You have brain fog. If you're experiencing some of these negative effects, then it would be probably in your best bet to go on maybe HRT. Because like I said, it's right there in the middle. And I've done gear in my 20s. Okay, so you're 38. So at this point, listen, no libido, but everything else is good. So listen, libido is one thing. And some people have low testosterone and still have good libido. It is what it is. And they are messed up in different areas like brain fog, depression, all these different things. So it really just depends on who you are and what's going on. But at that point, if you are experiencing those symptoms, and you are, then at that point, it is a good maybe decision for you to go on HRT, make sure everything is optimal and you're feeling good and you're performing your best too, right? Who doesn't like to perform better? I like to perform better, whether it's in the business, whether it's at home, whether it's in the bedroom, whether it's me competing in a sport. I want to do the best I possibly can. I want to perform the best I possibly can. And at that point, like if you're feeling some of these negative effects, then that's when it might be time to look at things and say, hey, listen, my numbers are here. I'm 38 years old. I'm having these symptoms. I want to feel better and I want to get to here. And at that point, that's where we can help you out anywhere you guys are at in the United States. So if you guys are looking for hormone replacement therapy or even blood work would be my first step if there was anything going wrong. Let me test blood work. Let me see what's going on and let me go from there. And at that point, blood work is usually going to lay out what's going on. And at that point, you're on your way to go. Any worries on supply chain issues globally as far as getting medication? No. We haven't had any medication as far as that goes. Problems in testosterone for sure. And I've been through all the viruses, 2020, 2021, anything that was where there was a supply chain issue, like toilet paper, water. I mean, come on, we can still get testosterone and different therapies and stuff like that. Thank God. So, don't worry about that. We're good to go there. We'll be able to take care of you. Listen, I would be the first one to worry too, because at this point, like, I've been on testosterone for over 12 years. And at that, I do not want to go and crash my levels. So I'm going to make sure that you guys are taken care of, because I want to be taken care of too, just as well. Mary, how you doing? I hope all is well with you. Loving it, loving it. Thank you for information. No problem, Damien. Anything I could possibly do. All right, so I got some on TikTok, and I'll go right to Facebook first, though. I'm 33, overweight, 6 foot, 240. Tired all the time. Can't breathe well. I want to get better. Any tips? All right, Travis. So if you're 33, you're overweight, 6 foot, 240 pounds, you're tired all the time. 1, we need to do something about the weight. 2, we need to look at hormones. We need to look at, listen, the blood test would probably tell you what's going on inside, and you probably have, lower levels of maybe testosterone. That could be an effect of what's going on. 1, just being tired and all the time. Now, the breathing, I can't breathe well. I want to get better. So at this point, we need to get the weight off. And if you don't want to do hormones, you don't want to look at blood, then I would, really suggest maybe one of our weight loss programs like semaglutide or tirzepatide. If you're overweight and you need to lose weight, those are going to be the big bad boy Titan therapies. They're going to be able to knock out a ton of weight pretty quickly and expeditedly. At that point, once you lose that weight, it's going to be amazing. You're going to feel amazing because, 1, aesthetically, you'll look nicer. Okay? Who cares? Let's put it out the door, because health is number one priority. We want to make sure you're breathing better. And at that point, if you have a good amount of weight on you, right, and you're overweight, you're putting stress on your body and stress on your organs, all these different things. That's why it's harder to breathe. The less you weigh, the less stress is going to be on your body, the easier it's going to be to breathe. I experienced this, when I first started Titan, like right before, for me, it was all about mass before. How big can I get? I want to be the biggest, baddest mojo in here. So at that point, like, what do I have to do? So I was, doing that. I was training 2 hours a day. I was eating like crazy, doing my thing. And, I gained up to I was maybe 230, right? And, it wasn't all good weight in my mind. I mean, I wasn't chiseled at 230. I had a 6-pack and everything, but, it was hard for me to breathe, like to bend down, to tie my shoes. I've never experienced that in my life until that point. And when I started getting in trouble like that, I was like, listen, I'm not supposed to weigh this much. I'm like, this cannot be healthy for me. So, this is what people go through when they do have excess weight on them, or, problems as far as being overweight. They're going to have different health issues, and one could be breathing right off the bat. Whether you're walking upstairs and you get tired really quickly, or you bend down, to tie your shoes and you can't. These are different things that, you don't want to go through, and you want to make sure you take care of it as fast as possible. All right, so what do we have here? We have, is 300-pound squat and 210-pound bench good for 15? For a 15-year-old? Is that what that says? Yeah, that's damn good, man. That's really good. Good for you, dude, for sure. Basic HRT, still starting at $480 a month with insurance? No, definitely not. Basic HRT for us is going to be testosterone, right? Your gonadal support, so enclomiphene, your aromatase inhibitor like an astrazole, your syringes, needles, medical review fee, shipping out to your door. The most is going to be, if you're out of state, $375. If you're in state, $350. And at that point, that can change every other month too. We can work it so it's a little bit less in between with some of the different medications and dosage and all that stuff. So what I would, you don't have to have insurance either with this. Out of pocket, that's all we do. So very simple, very easy, very straightforward and transparent as far as that goes. And you'll be able to get all our support and all our service with that too as well. Ryan, how you doing? Jason Becker said, I'm 46, 255, 6'2", type 2 diabetic, and a cancer survivor. Have days that am very tired. Any tips? Okay, so Jason, all right, so one, maybe work on the weight, right? 255 at 6'2", and you're type 2 diabetic, plus a cancer survivor. So listen, congratulations on surviving cancer, man. I've got my dad who has cancer right now. I know a ton of other people right now that have cancer, unfortunately. And all cancers are shit, excuse my language. And, anybody that survives any kind of cancer, whether it's skin cancer, whether it's, colon cancer, whatever it is, God bless you, man, for sure. That's a task in itself to do. But we want to work on some of these different things. Now, the one thing is you're type 2 diabetic. Now, your insulin resistance probably is garbage. At that point, it's not working right. You're overweight. So if we get rid of a lot of this excess weight, like semaglutide or tirzepatide, this is going to help you out as far as, turning back or maybe even reversing the type 2 diabetes that you have. It can reverse it. Over time, if you start doing the right things, exercising correctly, eating correctly, if you follow these tips, you will be able to be very successful in possibly reversing type 2 diabetes. You will also be very, very successful at feeling a lot better for sure, 100%. These are just some of the things I would do right off the bat. Now, obviously, everybody's going to tell you exercise, nutrition, diet. It's real simple and easy to say, but to do is a whole different story. So, start with something that's very simple. Get on a simpler plan. Start eradicating some of these bad foods maybe you might be eating. And at that point, possibly go on some of these different medications that we're talking about. And I guarantee you'll change things around tremendously, okay? 100%. Cade, is 325 squat and 225 bench good at 16 for 165, by the way? Yes, that's good. That's definitely good for sure. Skincare. All right, so skincare. So we're working on some different formulas. We've got some different formulas for skincare that are prescribed. So it just really depends on what the issue is or what you're trying to achieve, and we have a couple different blends. The best thing to do is call or text 727-389-3220, and the staff can go through all the different things for you as far as for skincare and what you can do, what you can use, and all that good stuff, all right? All right, 20 Muffin, all right, what else we got here? It said Jordan in the house, what's going on? Beautiful hair by Brian, what's up? Danish, what's going on? Damien, what's up? Roman's Loft. What's a good number on testosterone? Roman's Loft, what's going on? So, testosterone. Now, is this me taking testosterone or is this a natural reading? If it's taking, I guess it really doesn't matter either way. If you got 800 or 900 in testosterone, natural or injected, that's a pretty good number. And where would I want to be if I have to inject testosterone? I'm going to be on the higher end of the reference range. So if it's 264 to 916, then I'm going to be closer to the 916 than I am to the 264. A lot closer, right? That's good. Even if you're over a couple points, I know some people 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, whatever it is. These are okay numbers, right? Because depending on when you took your testosterone to when it spiked and when it released inside the bloodstream, that ester depends on really where that number is going to be and at what day. So, that's a good number for me. I would always want to be the most optimal, especially if I have to take medication. If you're going to make me inject myself with medication, then at that point, I want the very best out of that medication that I can possibly get. And that's being at the higher range of the reference range and feeling better for sure. All right, so skip man, I'm 57, lifetime natty, 244, 6'2", decent shape, having bloating issues. Any tips? Okay, all right, so lifetime natty. All right, so no problem. 57 years old, Skip, not an issue. Now, the only thing I would maybe possibly worry about here would be nutrition. Is there something that's causing the bloating, right? Because over time, our bodies can change, and different foods might react different to us. Some people get allergic to things later on in life, and some people react to things different later on in life or have sensitivity to different foods later on. And we got to remember, food sources have changed. Things have changed, So at that point, there might be something in a food that you used to eat before that was already fine. And at this point, there might be something in there that's causing some sort of reaction, making you bloat. So that's one thing. Two, I would definitely look at maybe hormones. Because you are 57, you're a lifetime natty. That's totally fine. But we know that those levels are all going to start getting messed up in some way, shape, or form. Whether they start going down or maybe estrogen going up, testosterone going down, all these different things. So I would kind of look at that just to make sure. And you don't have to do anything, right? You don't have to take any testosterone, any hormones, but at least look, make sure you have educated, you have the paper in front of you and looking and make an educated decision about what you want to do. So at that point, you can see it. But that's what I would do. Two, I would drink water. I would drink a lot of water. Try to get it out as far as that goes. That's really about it. But I would definitely look at food first. And then I would definitely look at maybe possibly hormones in the bloodstream and see what's going on there. What orals and injectables are prescribed by your clinic? Brownie, there are so many orals and injectables prescribed by our clinic, it's ridiculous. So obviously we have all the hormone replacement things, right? So we have all testosterone esters, we have all our vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, we have all our peptide therapies. So that's a good amount of things that we do here. And pretty much everything is injectable. Now, don't worry if you don't like injections. We have oral or sublingual or even creams and a lot of different things. So we have a different transportation rate for a lot of these different medications. So if you're worried about injections and you're like, I don't want to do this because I don't want to inject anything, don't worry, we got your back. We have these different things in different transportation rates to get inside the body. Some are nasal spray, some are creams, some are sublingual. So we've got you covered no matter what. Yep, that's what I think. It's food tolerance, but I agree. I'm thinking test. Thanks for your. So I am. I think maybe food. There's something in there that's making you bloat. Now, do you stay bloated too? And how long do you stay bloated? Right? Are you eating the exact same thing almost every single day? I do. So not a lot of people do, but that's another question. When you start breaking down these issues and start going through these issues, you really got to triage them properly and really start asking these other different questions and make sure it's very detailed so you have a full picture on how to answer the question or what's going on with your body knowing, right? I'm 28. TRT is at 365, trying to get back on TRT. What's the best peptide to go along with TRT? All right, I'm 28. TRT is at 365. So your total testosterone, I think, is what you meant to say, 365. Trying to get back on TRT. What's the best peptide to go along with TRT? So the best one, I think, as far as rolled out lately, I would definitely say testosterone. Testosterone is going to be a game changer, as far as that goes. Or IGF-1R3 is another good one I'd put with it, to HRT or TRT. But those two main ones, MOTS-c is another big one that comes to mind. But those would probably be the best bet. I mean, if you said, hey, listen, what would be the best peptide? Now, the other question to you would be, what are you trying to achieve, right, with the peptide? Is it for weight loss? Are you trying to gain more lean mass, more libido effect? What is that? Because different peptides do different things, and that's how you would pair up the best peptide to go with your TRT or HRT. And that can change. That can change over time. So, whether 1 month you're on IGF-1R3, the next month you go on testosterone, the next month you go on AOD 9604, I don't know. These are different things that, we would take in account of what's the goal now, right? And usually I give yourself about 60 to 90 days on one of the therapies, really going hard, really regimented, very consistent, and then see how everything's going there. And then you're like, all right, well, cool. I gained a good amount of lean mass. I really want to cut up now. I really want to cut up. So we would go with different therapies and a personalized regimen to get to the cut and go that route and the same thing. But with some of these different things like testosterone, I mean, this is going to do great things for, losing body fat, increasing lean muscle mass, and a number of other things. Yeah, I do consultations. So, well, I don't. The providers do consultations. If you want to get a consultation with me, it's no problem. But, I mean, I can't recommend it or sign for the medications. I can tell you kind of what would possibly be the game plan. I don't mind doing something like that. I just gave plasma and my entire arm is bruised. Is it safe to continue to work out hard? Oh, so it sounds like they maybe blew a vein. If your arm is bruised, your entire arm is bruised, I'm very sorry. That's not really cool. You shouldn't have had to go through that. It sounds like somebody wasn't there to do a good stick. But as long as you don't have no pain in the arm, okay, I'm not seeing the arm, so I'm not going to tell you to go back in the gym. But as long as you don't have no pain in the arm, everything's good there. If it's just bruised, then you should be okay, okay? If you have a question about it, please see a medical provider, okay? What's the most affordable way to get in TRT? Men's clinic, doctor, other ways? Tight Medical Center. I mean, affordable way, listen, if you have really good insurance and you have two clinically deficient testosterone readings, so that means your testosterone would have to be below the normal reference range. So let's say it's 264 in LabCorp. You'd have to be at like a 263, and then your provider would have to say, all right, cool, I'm good with this. Insurance company will back it. But it's kind of a long process per se, right? That's not something you're going to get done in like a week or two. If you want to get it done in a week or two, right, you want to get on treatment, you don't want to mess around, you want to make sure that you're getting all the components you need for it, then Titan would probably be the way to go, something like that, where, you're not using insurance, it's all out of pocket, but you're getting what you want, right, what you need. instead of maybe going with a doctor and you're a general practitioner and at that point you're having problems or you don't know how to maneuver or navigate through some of the different things that you need to get on treatment without these guys messing with you. All right, so that would be my best advice to you. Being aware is 89% of the battle. If they won't say anything about it, bounce. Okay, all right. What else we got here? Do you got any more? Kaji Gus, what's going on? Scott, what's going on? CrossFit Weddington, Mark Neal, what's going on? Seth, how you doing, brother? Hawk Squad, Travis Johnson, one of the most beneficial things John has ever said to me was, what is living a good quality of life worth to you? Titan has been a godsend for me ever since. Thank you, Hawk Squad. And it's true, right? What is a good quality of life worth to you? What is it worth to wake up every single day, feel good, have energy, if you're a man, feel like a man or feel like a woman, either way. And at that point, being able to perform your best, look your best, and have everything click. That's what it's all about. And that's what I want, right? And especially because, you don't know how much time you have on this earth. It could be very short. You might have 1 day left. You might have 1 hour left. You might have 30 or 40 years left. Who knows? Nobody knows. And if you had a crystal ball, you'd know. But we don't have crystal balls, and they're not telling us exactly when we're going to die. So at that point, you want to live your best life, going for years and years and years and not doing something about it when you feel bad and just covering up the symptoms, whether it's drinking energy drinks, you're taking pills to sleep or all these different things, then what's that even worth? Is it worth anything to you? Are you feeling good doing this? Probably not. So at that point, I would look to make a change, to make a healthy change. And, that might not be going with Titan right away, but at that point, maybe, listen, your nutritional habits change and you stop eating really, really processed food and start going to organic foods, or, you start getting the amount of sleep that you need every night. You start drinking the water you need every day. These are little steps you can take to provide yourself a better quality of life down the road. Okay? It's all about a healthy lifestyle. Wow, we got a lot in there. What's going on, guys? Jim Elliott, what's going on? Hey, John, all your tech specialists at Titan as knowledgeable as you? Yes. So all of our medical assistants, and that's what they are very, very in tune to all the therapies. I make them go through training and all that good stuff. I'm constantly training these guys, and I won't let them on the phone with people unless they do know what they're talking about. Because I ain't going to look dumb. I'm not going to have them tell you something that's wrong. And, mistakes do happen. But at that point, we don't want mistakes. And minimal mistakes is the way to go. But at that point, they're very knowledgeable, especially some of my old schoolers. I've got people that have been with my company for 7 years, 6 years, a good amount of them. So at least 3 or 4 of them for sure. And they're very, very knowledgeable. Our nurse practitioners, our medical providers, super knowledgeable. They know all the therapies. And if you guys get Chanel, who is our head nurse practitioner, she is one of the best, and she knows everything from top to bottom. So if you have any questions, she can definitely answer those questions, no problem. Our medical assistants can answer those questions too as well. And listen, if you guys got a question, you guys got me live every Tuesday, man. Every Tuesday. I've been doing this for years. So at that point, you can just come back and be like, hey, John, hit me up. Hey, I got this question, or they said this. What do you think about this? I got you guys. This is why I want to do this every week. I want you guys to, be involved. I want to be involved and make sure that, hey, listen, we're evolving in Titan. Our customer or patient care is evolving, and you guys are learning more because knowledge is power. You guys take this. Nobody can take knowledge from you guys. All right? It's the best. All right. Is MK677 a peptide? So MK677, ibutamorin, is a peptide. Now, originally, when this peptide came out, a lot of people categorized it as a SARM, which was a select androgen receptor modulator. And MK677, ibutamorin, is not a SARM. It is a peptide. And it's a great peptide. It's a GHRH peptide, a growth hormone-releasing hormone peptide. It's the only oral GHRH out there, and it's great for stimulating IGF-1 levels, which in turn create anti-aging effects, help recovery, help sleep patterns, help gain lean mass. It will turn the hunger hormone ghrelin. But it's a good one. It's a good one for those people that are hard gainers, right? This is a good one for those people out there, whether they're a girl or a guy. I know girls and guys out there, they're very, very skinny twigs, and I see their diet. They'll eat literally 6,000 or 7,000 calories a day and not gain hardly nothing. I'm like, oh, what is going on here? How does this happen? Calories in, calories out. This is not right, right? So at that point, some of them take this to be able to do that, or some guys or girls want to gain more lean mass and they want some help to do that, and that's what it is. Average age you see people on TRT, gosh, definitely in the 30s, man. I mean, you see some late 20-year-olds that have not touched any anabolics. It's just genetics or environmental, what's going on, and have lower levels. But, I'm starting to see them lower and lower. But I would say, your 30-year-old guy or girl are probably your average age to see people starting or getting on TRT or HRT. A lot of people that age in their earlier 30s, I would say, have a lot of the different symptoms, and they get tested and their levels are pretty low or on the bottom end of the scale. So it might not be clinically deficient, but out of 264 to 916, they're at 300, 330. So technically they're okay. They're within normal range, normal lower range, but they have a lot of symptoms. And that's the problem. A provider shouldn't just look at what's the number, because at that point he doesn't even need to come in. What's your number? All right, cool, I see your number. I'll prescribe out. Doesn't matter. You have to correlate. The provider needs to talk to the patient and say, hey, listen, how are you feeling? What are the symptoms that are going on here? And then correlate the number with the symptoms or what's going on, and then decide, hey, listen, what's the best treatment plan or protocol for this patient? And at that point, come up with that personalized regimen and do it. So that's what it is, man. Antonio, thank you, man. I appreciate it. He says, thank you. I love you for your videos. Thank you. Are most people you see on TRT due to anabolics, or is just getting older that drops test levels? So that's a great question. A great question. And I would see the majority of people are everyday people that have not touched anabolics. Now, of course, there's a good amount of people that have touched anabolics before. But a lot of those people, I'm just being honest, that have touched it before usually stay with the UGL, the underground lab. They're boys, whatever, they want to run higher doses and all this crazy stuff. But there are people that have touched anabolics maybe in their 20s, and now they're 40, and they haven't touched anything for 20 years. And they've been feeling like crap for about 15, 20 years since their levels crashed and really never came back. So they decide at that point it's time to do something about it. So most people, their levels just drop, or it's environmental, like I said, genetics, whatever it is, because we don't know exactly what it is. But I do know that fertility rates and testosterone rates have dropped dramatically in the last 10 to 20 years, dramatically in the last couple of years, just fertility rates alone. So this is very scary for us males or our population per se, because listen, we've got to keep procreating to stay on this earth and to make sure that we stay up with things. So population control might be there. I don't know, but it is what it is. Does pinning location make a difference? So no, pinning location does not make a difference. If your pinning location is intermuscular, any muscle you can inject in. Now, are some of those muscles a little bit smaller than the other ones that are bigger? Yes. Will they feel maybe uncomfortable? Yes. So at that point, like, the only thing I can say about pinning locations is don't keep pinning in the exact same location. Don't do that. Don't do it at all. You're going to create scar tissue. It's going to probably hurt in that area if you keep injecting that area. Do not do it. Just rotate the side. So for me, like, I do 2 injections of testosterone per week. I split my dose. On Monday, I inject on my right side. On Thursday, I inject on my left side. And I know every time. And then I'll switch a little bit higher, a little bit lower to the side. If you're injecting glutes, make sure you don't go near the crack, above the crack, or below the crack. Okay? It's the best thing I could say for guys and girls out there. Insurance does not cover this. I'm sorry. Insurance, the reason why we don't take insurance, you guys all know this, is insurance really red tapes things and handcuffs our providers on what they can do. What blood tests they can run for you, what medications they can prescribe for you. Because just because a doctor or a provider wants to run a blood test on you doesn't mean your insurance company is going to cover it. And then you're going to have to produce diagnosis codes to go with these blood tests and with these medications. That's like on your permanent record. Just like on an auto insurance when you get in an accident. This is all documented. And if you have more problems than the other person does, your rates could be higher. So this is just something to think about. Like, we're not going to get restricted in what we want to do for patients. If a provider thinks that they want to run a free and total, a prolactin, or whatever it is on you, then they're going to run it. And they're not even going to question it. There's not even going to be a second glance. They're going to do it. They're going to see what's up, and they're going to run with it. Are you restricted on what amounts you can prescribe? That's why people run higher doses, use UGL. So yeah, so listen, clinically, like you're not going to go over 300 here at Titan Medical Center. It's not there. There's no clinical data even showing something like that. So when people want to do 400, 500, 600, 700, a gram, 2 grams every week, no, man, you're overdoing, you're overdosing. Those are super physiological levels that you're looking for. You know, when you go on 200 milligrams or maybe 300 milligrams of testosterone, you're going to be at 12 or 1500 for sure. You know, so at that point, that's high enough. Now, if we start injecting more, you're going to be even higher. And this is not good. It's not healthy. There's no reason for it. So that's why people stay with UGLs. And you know what? They're playing Russian roulette with their body. I wouldn't do it anymore for sure, 100%. I would definitely go to a doctor. Unless it was my ultimate, last, only option on the table, I wouldn't do it. I definitely wouldn't do it, 100%. No way, no how. I've seen too many people get infections. I talked to some guy this weekend. We were talking about BPC. He was like, man, he's like, I want to get BPC 157 from you guys. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you know, I hurt my shoulder or anything like that. And, you know, I messed around, Johnny. He's like, I went to one of these research chemical sites. I bought a couple vials from there. I literally injected it, man. And off the first injection, I literally got an infection. I had to go to the hospital. And they had to give me IV antibiotics and the whole nine. I'm like, damn, what did that cost you? He was like, it cost me like $2,000 to go in and do that. $2,000 for them to go in ER and to get IV antibiotics that probably cost $60. Now, listen, hospitals got to make money too. The IV bag, the nurse practitioner hooking them up, the triaging from the nurse, like all this goes into account. It's going to be expensive. So save yourself some money up front by doing it the right way or getting something that you know is coming from a legitimate source, right? Other than side delts, what are some other sites to inject with insulin needles? Good question, Poppy. So listen, I would do delts. Depending on what the injection is, a Hercules potion, you can do that in any muscle you're working out. So I do chest. I know a lot of people don't like that. Hercules potion, I would do on my biceps, triceps. But if it's like tight and complete or whatever, you can do it on your delts. You can do it on your glutes. I mean, and you can mix different positions. The other thing is that you can go right in the center or you can go in the side going to the center, if that makes any sense. As long as the needle is going to the center of the arm or the delt, I guess, that's what you want. Daddy, Mike, my doctor recognized the HSA benefits from employer. Okay. Does TRT shorten lifespan? No. I mean, the research doesn't show that TRT or HRT shortens lifespan. Actually, people who are deficient with these hormones might have a shortened lifespan for sure. You know, if you're not overdoing it per se, right? You're doing medical doses. You're keeping your numbers within normal, healthy range. And we know that testosterone will also help with cardiovascular. It will help with brain. There's so many different functions that will help just from taking testosterone and making sure your levels are normal or optimal. You know, if it's low or if it's super crazy physiological, you might have some issues. My doctor told me my testosterone was completely fine. It was 337, but I also told it was low. 337. So doctors are going to tell you this. Your general practitioners are going to say, listen, you have a 337. This is normal. And it is normal. I'm not going to say it's not. It's normal. But is it good normal or bad normal? It's bad normal. It's on the lower end. And then ask yourself the question is this. Are you having any symptoms? And are you having low T symptoms? And if you say yes, then obviously that number is not doing too good for you. And I guarantee if you got that up to 800 or 900, you'd be feeling a hell of a lot different. It'd be like the damn drapes opening up for the first time and you see the sun. That's the best way I can describe my experience with going from a low testosterone number, like a 98, and then going to 1,000, right? 90 to 1,000 in a couple days. When it finally kicked in, I was like, oh my God, man. I was like, I feel like a new man. For sure, like a new man. So at that point, it will definitely change the game for you guys if you need it. If your levels are already 800 or 900, don't do it. But if they're lower, bottom low, and you're having symptoms, I would strongly recommend looking into it. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Me Mafia, hi, how you doing? Hope all is well. All right. Can you pin in the biceps? Can you pin tests in the biceps? You could pin tests in any muscle group. Would I inject tests into my bicep? Probably not. You could. It'll definitely fill it. the difference between amino acids and vitamins and testosterone is that amino acids and vitamins are injectables, majority of them except for vitamin D, is water soluble. So it's not as thick when you're injecting in there. When you're injecting testosterone, that is a thicker viscosity liquid, and at that point, it might feel a little different, right? So that's the only thing I'm going to say. You could definitely pin it there, so I'm not going to say you can't. Would I do it? Maybe not. I like to do my glutes. I think that's the best spot. And I used to inject shoulders and all kinds of things with Tess. So I've definitely injected biceps with testosterone before. Was it my best feeling? Probably not. Definitely not legs either. Is 560 for 49 okay? It's okay. How do you feel? Do you feel okay? Do you want to feel better? Then that's what I would kind of look at. How was free? How was your free testosterone? Was it lower? Was it right in the middle? That's kind of the thing next thing to look at. 560 is right there. I think we cut off treatment like 550, 560. So it's like right there. And I think, you know, a provider is going to ask you next, like, are you symptomatic or what are you going through? And then kind of make a decision what's going on there. The next question for that, Jim Bro and JC, is when did you get your blood tested? Because levels of testosterone are going to be the highest in the morning. So most practitioners, providers, they want you to go really early. 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, you're there, you get the blood test. But as the day goes on, your testosterone starts. So I always tell people, I'm like, listen, you know, it's fine to get it in the morning, but I would definitely look at it in the afternoon, middle to late afternoon. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you look at it in the middle to the late afternoon, you're going to see, hey, listen, this is where my levels are starting to fall off at. And that's why I'm feeling like this. Because a lot of guys or girls, they get up in the morning, they do their thing, you know, they're going through the day, they go through a job, they have to go through it because they have responsibilities, and they're just fighting through it. And at that point, they get home at night, and then they're like, oh, man, they sit down, and like, a lot of guys just crash out. And like, the wife or the kids, they're upset, like, daddy's not playing with me. Mom says, like, you don't mess around with me anymore. And, you know, you're like, man, I don't want this. Like, I'm working my ass off, and, you know, I want the energy to be able to play with my kids. I want the drive to be with my wife. And at that point, like, it's just not there. And that's when you really have to start looking at these things and say, listen, my quality of life is getting affected tremendously. I'm working for what, right? I'm working to provide for my kids, my family, and everything like that. But I need to take care of myself so I can provide longer and better for my kids, my family, and everything else. And when you feel better and you're performing your best, you will do better in whatever you're doing, whether it's a sport, a job, a relationship. I'm telling you guys, if you feel bad and you don't have energy and you're irritable, you're not going to do these jobs as good, and it's not going to be as best as you possibly can. So just think about that a little bit. Sites like NapScare, OSCare consider UGL, even though, yeah, they are both underground labs. I wouldn't trust either one of them, okay? Purity tests, those things can be forged, guys. I've seen so many different ones of these purity tests forged. It's ridiculous. There aren't labs out there that just take samples. Oh, let me say all the UGL labs, we're just going to start our testing here. Are you kidding me, guys? You understand that what happened to this? It's like I said, I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't go through those sources. That's just me. It's too easy. It is. It definitely is. We got on Instagram here. All right, Jessica, what's the best thing to take after training with Big Drew? It's day one, training tomorrow. Okay. You know, obviously, listen, your Hercules potion is going to be one of your best things to take. You know, your BPC or TB500 could definitely help with recovery because you're probably, I don't know what he had you do, but he probably had you do a lot. So you're probably hurting a little bit. And that's what I would do. I would kind of look at that. Nutrition Solutions in the house. My guys over at Nutrition Solutions. So many great people over there, including the founder and owner of Nutrition Solutions, my good friend, Chris Cavallini. Big shout out to them and everything they're doing over there. They're changing people's lives too by nutrition. So God bless them. They're great people. I've been reading a lot about tablespoons of baking soda mixed in a bottle of water 40 to 60 minutes before your workout for crazy pumps. You ever heard of this? Or know any benefits or cons? I have not, Hulk Squad. I will look into it. I don't know about drinking baking soda. Listen, I don't know how crazy the pumps would be. I'll look into it for you. I'll look into it tonight and see kind of what it is, right? But at that point, let you know, you can tell me too if you want to experiment. But I think I have some other things that I would rather do than drink baking soda, I think. But hey, listen, it might create nasty bumps. Who knows? Nutrition Solutions, Type Medical. What's up? What's good? My dudes. Another man just living the life, trying to help people out here too as well. Hell yeah, Hawk Squad, same Titan. All right, so Short and Sweet said, hey, Titans, what's going on? Big shout out to Short and Sweet. She's the best, helping us out with all our internet problems here. I love it. Thank you so much. I hope the girls took care of you. I know you wanted blood work and everything like that. I want to make sure you're taken care of. I've been on TRT for a long time with my urologist. He's never given me any type of Remedex, extemestane, or Clomid. Is that bad? Also, I have a tender spot near my right. Yes. Yikes. Okay, Jim, definitely. This is something that you want to check. You need to check your estradiol out. You need to check that out. If you have a spot near your right nipple that is tender or getting sore, this is like red flags. Like, hey, listen, something could be happening. Gynecomastia will be forming. You will feel it. Tenderness. You'll feel like a little hardness after that underneath the nipple. I mean, you do not want that. So definitely, man, we'll definitely dial you in and get you feeling like you should. 100 milligrams a week is not that much. And, you know, people are like, oh, but some people, man, they convert the estrogen, and having that estrogen converted for so long at higher ranges is going to start gynecomastia. This is a big, big problem that I see with a lot of people that go to the general practitioner or urologist and they just get testosterone because that's what those doctors are trained to do. This is broke. Let's fix it. Let's give it this. They don't even look at any of the other ones. When I went to go start Type Medical Center, right, I knew all the protocols. I had a doctor that was already in line. But before that, I wanted to bring in another doctor. And at that point, when I started going over the protocols with the doctor, he didn't know what some of this stuff was. So what did he do? So a Remedex was one of them. So he calls up one of his urologist buddies, and he goes, oh, I might be getting into this, and, what do you think about this protocol, and what do you think about a Remedex? And urologist, these are older guys, at that point, they were probably like in middle 50s. One guy, I think, was near 60s. Absolutely not. That's a cancer drug. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, no, no. And it's like, well, why? Do you understand why we're using it? And let's get this straight. It's used for breast cancer patients, right? All the aromatase inhibitors are, and that's what they were developed for. And they work by lowering estrogen in the body. So high estrogen is going to cause big issues. And high estrogen fuels breast cancer, especially high estrogen in the breast receptors. So at that point, that's why Novaldex was made. Novaldex, and that's not a good estrogen blocker for all around, but that was the first one that came out. And what did that do? It blocks estrogen receptors, right? So it doesn't, you don't flare up, you don't get gynecomastia, but it did it for breast cancer patients to take that out. Anastrozole, extemestane, letrozole, these were all aromatase inhibitors, and these were all made to eradicate estrogen. Some a lot more than others, right? So you got to be very, very cautious about what you're doing, but you want to make sure everything is balanced too. If you're taking testosterone, you're most likely going to need an aromatase inhibitor. You're definitely going to need gonadal support. So these are three main things that you want to be looking at in your protocol to make sure it's optimal and to make sure you're getting all the benefits with the negative side effects gone or minimal gone, right? You don't want any of that stuff. All the benefits with any of the drop. All right. When should you stop TRTH? There's no stopping. Unless you have some sort of serious medical problem that the providers do not want you taking testosterone, then I would take testosterone for the rest of my life. There's no stopping. There's no stopping. I want to feel good every single day. And if I only get 80 years on this planet to feel good, then that's the 80 years I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure that I'm feeling my best. You best believe it, 100%. What is the cost to work with Titan? I'm in the military and don't make that much. So we do have military and veterans discounts, and we also discount for all Leos. So at that point, it just depends what you're trying to get on, right? What therapy you're trying to get on. If it's HRT, you could take a good percentage off of that, of the 350 or 375. I would call. We'll give you all the prices and kind of go over, what you're looking for, what you're looking to do, and hopefully we can help you out. Listen, big shout out to all my military out there, all my veterans out there, all my first responders, all my Leos. Big shout out to you guys. So whatever I can do, I definitely will try to help. All right. And most people take it for heartburn. It works. I don't know what you're talking about there. Sorry. Oh, baking soda? Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Any recommendations on dealing with chronic osteomyelitis? All right, HGH. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let's see exactly what we're talking about here. I want to make sure I am up on it for you guys so I give you the right answer here. We only got so much time, guys. Get your questions in. I didn't get to any of my topics, but that's okay. We can save those for another time. We want to educate, and we want to have some good conversations here. So let's talk about myelitis. Continuous infection with low-grade type, reoccurrent type. Okay, all right. Bone sclerosis. All right, so this is definitely successfully treated. Have you had surgery? And have you been on strong intravenous antibiotics? Because that's what they're saying, that you can actually get rid of this. With this, what you're talking about that you have, chronic osteomyelitis, IV therapy for 2 to 6 weeks followed by oral antibiotics of a total of 4 to 8 weeks may be required. Prolonged courses may be required in neonates or immunocompromised or malnourished patients, patients with sickle cell or patients with distant folate or infection. You're going to need something that's going to knock out this infection. And at that point, like, I don't know if HGH would be the best thing for it. It just depends what stage you're in too as well. Like, see, I'm learning just from what you're putting up here. I'll look at it more and kind of think about what would possibly be the best. But I would think about something like maybe inflammation taken away, something like that. And HGH is, that's going to grow. I mean, I don't know how that would benefit you with an infection. What I would do is maybe boost immune function. That would probably be the best bet. And then obviously you have to do these IV antibiotics and then oral antibiotics. So let's look at that too as well. Make sure you're on task with that. Baking soda is great for muscular endurance and cranking out more reps, but pre-work, better for pumps. Okay. Do you still have HCG available? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Anybody looking for HCG? We have HCG. We have compounded HCG, right? We can get, and we have commercial grade HCG. So whatever you want, we got it for sure. What's this page about? We're about anti-aging and preventative health. And we're talking about all the great things you can do to hopefully extend life, improve life, and perform the best at life you possibly can. All right, Anthony, what's going on? Andrea, what's going on? Dimitri, Harold, what's going on? Leanne, how you doing? All right, what else is going on here? Let's see, anyone else? One life to live, what's going on? Any recommendations dealing with, I already talked about that. Uncle, how you doing? Happy late birthday, homie. I appreciate it. You helped me out a lot. Thanks for being who you are and helping change lives and make people feel better. Saying Scorpion, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And for you guys who didn't know, I did celebrate my 43rd birthday this weekend. 43 years, man. It's crazy. Trying to look younger than ever or try to, like I said, slow down that clock just like everybody else out there is. And I want to definitely perform my best, and I got to be on point every single day, every day. Every day, it's going to be crazy. So, all right. I'm 31 and had gastric bypass surgery 2 years ago from 300 pounds to 155. Would TRT be beneficial for me? John, absolutely. And congratulations on your weight loss. You've lost a half of yourself. That is tremendous. That's awesome, man. Congratulations again, because, it's huge. And I bet you feel amazing. You're like, oh, my God. Would TRT be beneficial to you? Absolutely. If your numbers are there, especially like on the lower end and stuff like that, increasing them will definitely help with building some lean muscle mass too as well, maybe. Taking up some of that skin maybe and possibly. And at that point, being able to burn more fat. More muscle burns more fat. So at that point, it would be beneficial for you for sure, 100%. And in other ways, mental clarity, physical, bedroom arousal, I mean, all that stuff, it comes into play. A Beagle named Hunter, Carly, what's going on? Dale, Matt, how you doing? Monica Rose, what's going on? Edge Crusher, what's going on? If my hemoglobin and hematocrit start to rise due to testosterone, is it better to cut my dose in half or get a medical blood draw prescription? So it might rise, and this is one thing that I would say. I always do 2 blood donations every single year, no matter what. I call it HRT maintenance or TRT maintenance. And at that point, it's getting some of that plasma and stuff out and getting fresh, brand new in as far as it developing or coming back in. But, I wouldn't automatically cut my dose. Now, I would go give the donation. You can give the donation. If they don't let you do the donation, you can get the prescription for the therapeutic phlebotomy. And I would do that. And then, listen, if it keeps going like that, like every couple months, you're like, oh my God, like, this is getting a little bit too out of hand. I'm going to have to go in every couple months and donate or do the therapeutic phlebotomy. I don't want to do this. So then I would start say, hey, listen, cut back the dose a little bit, see where it's at. But right off the bat, I wouldn't cut my dose. That's just me. Markin, what's going on? Kevin, what's going on? If you have any questions about any of this and you're a patient, you call or text the line too as well. We're here for your support every day, all day for you guys. All right?
You guys set a timer just to say hi to you.
Oh, set a lot. Thanks, Nuclear Machine. What's going on, bro? I hope all is well. If all you guys didn't hear, we will be at Pro's Gym down in Columbus, Ohio this weekend. Me, Michael Hearn, some of the Titan crew will be there. So if you guys are in the house, you guys are around the area or at the expo, come over and join us over there for a little bit. Say hi, see what's going on. All right, Pedro Herman said, thoughts on Summerlin? Summerlin's okay, but Summerlin is like an old dinosaur. If I was going to pick something, I'd either pick CJC 1295 with Ipamorelin or Tesamorelin. That is the big bad boy I would do. Thoughts on Zomactin? Zomactin's HGH. That's all it is. So if you're looking for human growth hormone, that's probably the cheapest brand out there to buy. ACG, safe for long-term use? Absolutely. Man, I've been on ACG for at least 10 years. So at that point, you guys are good to go with ACG. There's nothing bad with ACG as far as that goes. No harmful effects it's going to do for you. So if you want to be on ACG long-term, you can be on ACG long-term. I don't know how many of our patients have been on ACG or were on ACG for 6, 7, 8 years. So there's no problems, no issues. You should be good to go. All right. How long before upping your dose of MK677 from 10 milligrams to 20 milligrams? Well, we do 25 milligrams here. And honestly, I wouldn't even start at the 10. If you did want to start like, I want to start a little bit lower and go up, that's cool too. But I would do that, sooner than later, I guess, because you can only take MK for so long, like 90 days, and you're going to build up a tolerance, right? So don't do that. Coach, catch me Chi-Town. I like it. I love it. I'm from Chi-Town originally, so I really like it, Coach. I love it. Yeah, man, this is crazy. Cushface, J-Rock, what's going on? I'm Aaron Bowers, what's going on? EL, Thriller Manila, what's going on? Ankra, Blood, Sweat, and Boxing. Addie Star, what's going on? All right. Dalton, Investor. Man, there's so many people in here. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all you guys joining me, man. Jim said, I'll be 46 tomorrow. Happy birthday, bro. Another Pisces in the house. What's going on? Strength Ass Christian, what's up, dude? I hope all is well. Warren, what's going on? Man, Dwayne, Eddie, how you guys doing? Josh Hartney says, I've been on Ipamorelin for about 2 months. Where should I start seeing results? You should start seeing results within the first 2 or 3 months. Now, if you're just on Ipamorelin, that might not be the best bet. I would go on CJC 1295 with Ipamorelin. Now, we offer that, and they're both in the same vial. Or, if you're really looking to get some great results, then go on Tesamorelin. Tesamorelin is definitely the takeover, I would say, over all these. It's FDA approved. It's going to do what it says, right? That's the main gig for me. Like that, people don't say, oh, FDA. Listen, there's a lot of clinical studies that go behind something like that. So at that point, that's probably the way I would work. But 2 or 3 months, you should start seeing some sort of result. It might not be a whole bunch, but you should start seeing progression in some ways. KR Holly, what's going on? How you guys doing? Does Tesamorelin shut down your natural test levels? No, Tesamorelin does not mess with testosterone levels at all, David. So Tesamorelin actually boosts growth hormone levels. It's actually a GHRH. It's a growth hormone releasing hormone peptide. It's growth hormone releasing factor analog. So at that point, it's going to help with boosting your natural growth hormone levels, not mess with any testosterone levels. So you're going to get the benefits of that without any negative side effects. Good question, though. People see tests in it, so they think there's testosterone in it. So it's a great question. Great question. All right. What do we have here? This week's newsletter poll. Do you have trouble building or maintaining muscle? 20% of you said, no, I have no trouble at all. 0% said, yes, I have some trouble. 80% said, yes, it's very difficult for me. Guys, you need to contact Titan Medical Center. We have therapies that are going to help you build muscle, lose fat, help you maintain all these great things. I promise you. And if you're just going about your day and you're losing all this weight, or you're not feeling good and you don't want to do something about it, I would suggest you change your mind and do something about it. And first step, be call or text us so we can help you guys out. We can assess the problems and we can give you some direction going forward about what's going to be the best for you and take you in that direction, right? That's what it's all about. Sweet, thank you. You're welcome, David. And Dur said, I started at 545 pounds, down currently at 330. Should I start creatine to help me with loose skin? Wow. You're down 330 pounds? Endure the pain. Endure the Pain on TikTok said he started at 545 pounds and he lost 330 so far. So does that make him 215 pounds? Wow. So yeah, you can start some creatine, because obviously you probably have some loose skin, right? And with that loose skin, you're going to want to build muscle to fill up the area, right? Like a recomp almost. So, you could definitely take creatine. Creatine is one of the most studied supplements out there. Creatine monohydrate, 5 grams. So at that point, yeah, you could definitely do the creatine. And how are your testosterone levels? How are your hormone levels? Are those down way, or what's going on? All natural, no surgery. Man, I love it, dude. What was any medications, Ozempic or semaglutide or anything like that used? Let me know, right? Curly, 217 pounds. Man, it's, oof. I would love to have that testimonial from you for sure. Obviously, we didn't do that, so I wouldn't want it, but that's a hell of a testimonial, man. Hard work and dedication. And that should be motivation for anybody out here that maybe you guys can't see it and you guys are listening to this, that this guy went from 500, right? 500 something pounds and losing 330. I mean, this is crazy. 354 last February and 219 now, man. It's just nuts. It's crazy. This is somebody else. Hardwick said 354 last February. I'm 219 now. Man, I got so many people on here that, you guys, man, this is crazy. My blood work was crazy. My natural test was 643, 421. So it went from 643 to 421. Or is that 2 different testings? Let me know. That's not bad, though, man. I mean, it's not bad at all. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, 2-minute warning.
All right, guys. 60-day Titan Transformation Challenge. It's still going on. You guys can still get involved. Win free HRT or 3 months of free therapies of your choice, up to $375. All you guys have to do is go over to titanmedicalcenter.com. You can click the contest page, and it's real simple to get involved. You can still get involved right now. We only have like a week left. I think that's left. But hey, listen, if you come in and you beat out, then you will be the winner. So I'm not going to say, if you might join 5 days before it ends, and if you've got the photos to prove it, I guess, and then at that point, and we want to see the dates. None of this from last year until today. No way. But we want to see dates. But at that point, if you have those dates and you look the best, then you will win. That's how it's going to go down. Do you have tirzepatide? Absolutely. We have semaglutide. We have tirzepatide. We got MOTS-c. We got tesamorelin. We got BPC. All the peptides, hormones, blood work, libido enhancers. Guys, PT-141. So we do service Texas, Endure the Pain. We do service Texas, right? 421 started, 643 the weight loss. Wow, that's awesome. So it actually went up with the weight loss. Man, that's awesome. That's very, very cool. So I want to tell you a story real quick. I got 1 or 2 minutes. So this weekend, right? PT-141. If you guys don't know what it is, it's a sexual libido enhancer that is FDA approved. And it was originally made for women, and it works on the nervous system. It doesn't work on the vasodilation or the blood like Viagra Cialis does. And I've been telling Sharice about this for a long time, and she finally took the injection, and she was knocked and rocked off her socks. Let's put it that way. So at that point, she's really, really into it. And I'm telling you, for any of the women out there or guys out there, it is a game changer for your bedroom performance, your orgasms, and everything that comes along with it. I promise you. Eating healthy saved my life. It does. HIIT training daily also very well. Price for tirzepatide. So Okay, keys, what's going on? So we have different packages and we have different dosages, right? We have 20 milligrams, 40 milligrams. We have some bigger dosages and vials. Usually, I think the starting one's going at like $650 for 8 weeks of tirzepatide. And you guys can get this, no problem. No blood work's needed. All you have to do is fill out the new patient paperwork. You're going to see our medical provider via video conference. And at that point, you guys are able to get these fantastic and awesome new weight loss therapies or peptides or whatever you guys want to get into. So, guys, that's it. I will be down in Columbus here Thursday night. So, Friday and Saturday, I'll see you guys at Pro's Gym, me, Michael Hearn, and the Titan crew. So, I will see you there. I appreciate all you guys. Love all you guys. Thank you for joining me on Titan Talk Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, I'm going to do it usually between 5 and 6 p.m. You never know. So, just stay involved. Or if you guys are on social media, after you guys get done with this, go to our page, and there's little tri-dots, and you can hit the all notification button. So at that point, you guys get made aware when my lives are going live, and you guys can join in, conversate with me, ask me questions, or talk about some of the different therapies or whatever is on your mind. I appreciate you guys. And how much is the testosterone? I think the testosterone was $750. Let me ask Sharice exactly how much it was. I'm pretty sure it was $750 is what it was. Best thing to do is call or text 727-389-3220. I did look and see what the commercial brand was going for the two, because we have a 1 milligram and 2 milligrams. So I want to make sure the price was right for both of those. But it's around the $700 to $900 area for those. And I was looking what the commercial product cost at 2 milligrams, $7,600. I couldn't believe it for a commercial vial. Just insane. So this is a lot better than that. And you're going to get the great benefits from testosterone, which if you guys don't know what testosterone is, I want you guys to go look up testosterone for yourself, check it out, and see what I'm talking about. And you guys can tell me if it's an amazing therapy or not. So I appreciate all you guys. I'll be back. How much is blood work? Blood work for guys with the discount is $150. It's usually $200. For females, it's $225, down from $300. There's more labs on the females than the guys as far as hormones. But that's the guys' test. $150, the full in-depth blood panel, right to you wherever you guys are at. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And I will be talking to you guys next Tuesday with me, John, CEO and founder of Titan Medical Center. And I'll be going live down in Columbus too as well. So you guys might be seeing me a little bit more. All right, guys. I love you. I'll see you next week or even this